What is good, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks for crappie fishing. I'm going to be showing y'all some artificial baits and some live bait setups that I use. So first, let's get into the jigs. Alright guys, so the first kind of jig I'm going to show y'all are these clear neon color jigs. I've got 4 different kinds right here. As you can see, green, pink, light colors. So you want to avoid using these whenever it's muddy water or it's an overcast, rainy day. When you want to use these is when the water's clear, hasn't rained in a while. You can see good in the water and the sun is high. Early mornings, not really. Late evenings, no. 10 a.m., 11 a.m., get 3, 4 p.m. That is when these things are going to be your best friend. So, also with the jig head, light neon pink. They seem to just really like that. So let's just say the water's clear, it's 10 a.m. and the sun is beaming. Summer day, fishing on the lake, and a bunch of docks. I would throw something like this right here, just flinging around the docks. And if there's fish there, trust me, buddy, they're going to see it and they're going to hammer it, just because that sun is going to be shining down on that water, like I said, and it's really gonna beam on these jigs, and it's going to be really visible for them to see. And especially right after spawn, whenever those crappie get really hungry, right here, early summer, best friend right here. I've had a lot of luck with these specifically, but different setups you could use for these is just, you could tie it on a cork with a leader, about 2-foot leader, and just fling it and just let it sit, bring it back to you slowly. And if they're not liking that, then get rid of the cork, just tie it on with a leader, maybe a swivel, and depending on jig head size, if you got a smaller jig head and you're wanting to reach a deeper water, if you don't have a bigger jig head, just throw in a little split shot, just fling it around brush, and but yeah, these things right here are really good for that really sunny day in the clear water. So now I'm going to show y'all a little bit on what to use kind of in the spawn. Alright, so moving on. Spawn time. These right here, darkish color jigs. Let me open these for you. Oof. Alright. So these right here, black, blue. That one's not got a whole bunch of blue on it, but you can see where it's supposed to be. Glittery tail. Those dark colored jigs is going to be your friend. Muddy water, overcast days. And you can go with a black jig head. Just kind of seems to work better if you have that jig head that's matching your jig. And but yeah, that is going to be your best friend for spawn when they're on the banks. And also, if you want to go, if it's a sunny day, early morning. If during the spawn, get out there early. If it's a sunny day, baby blue with that neon colored tail. that right there, buddy, is like bam, 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 bam. If there's fish there, bam, bam, bam. That's all I would use. Like I would stick to 1 to 2 jigs. That's all you need in the spawn. With these, the jig head I would use, I would honestly, I would probably go like with this hot pink. And you can throw these during the spawn, but it's just I like it better whenever it's like that. So another tip that I'll give you, spring spawn time, post spawn, is a beetle spin. If you brimfish, you know what I'm talking about. A beetle spin is kind of like a bass spinnerbait, but it's like smaller, really smaller. So what that does is whenever the males come and protect the eggs, I guess, that shiny spinner is going to be like very attractive. And just this past weekend, I caught multiple crappie on just that beetle spin, and honestly, I tried it with like 3 different jigs, all different colors, and they just hammered it because, like I said, they're trying to protect the bed. But anyways, I'm gonna throw y'all to the live bait setups, and kind of when, and also some tricks and night fishing too for crappie. All right, guys. So I've got one live bait set up here, and so all it is a hook and a cork. I don't have a split shot with me, but you want to put a split shot about that far away from your hook. So a lot of people ask, can you use worms for crappie? Honestly, you can, but it's not the preferred bait form. Best thing is the little shiner minnows. And the reason you put that split shot about that far away is so that minnow can swim. Boop, 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 boop. And when you want to use these, it's kind of a thing that it's weird. Some days they're crazy about the live bait and they'll only bite the live bait. Some days they're crazy about the jigs. And the time I really like to use live bait for crappie is summertime. Summertime around some brush or docks, and just get that shiner minnow in there on that hook and just fling it all around every old tree that you see in the water, dock, and if they decide to bite, you're gonna have you a buttload of crappie. And but also if it's legal in your state to have 2 rods, fishing at a time for crappie, have this, throw it beside the brush pile, go in, depending on what time of day it is, throw you a jig out there too. 2 in 1. And but another thing, cold water right here. All you need is a hook, 2 split shot, or a appropriate size weight, and go around. If the lake that you're fishing in, or wherever you're fishing, if it has river markers, the big poles, if you don't know what that is, I'll throw a picture right here. Go around and just drop that down. If you got a depth finder or a fish finder, just troll with that weight and keep it off the bottom. Of course, you don't want to get hung up. But I'd say probably 2-3 foot off the bottom, and just go around the river markers, and then just troll. What I mean by troll is what I normally do is I'll have a rod to my right, rod to my left, and just troll motor out front, just on the lowest speed, and just have a point. What I do is I pick out a point to go to. Like if I'm going from one river marker to another, after I get done fishing that river marker, I'll just troll to the next one. And you never know where they're going to be. So if they're not on that river marker, maybe there's a pile of some stuff someone dumped in the lake years ago or something that they're crazy about, and that's just their spot. As soon as you go over that with the troll, who knows, you'll be able to get one on both lines. And but yeah, those tips I just gave you right there, that is going to help you with crappie during the daytime. Now let's move to the dark. All right, so nighttime fishing for crappie. There's one way I know how to do it, and it has worked crazy. I mean, I have caught some monsters. I'm talking about monsters during the nighttime. I actually prefer to fish at night for crappie over the day. My number, if I had to pick 3 times, I would choose spawn, nighttime, and early summer mornings. Those right there, those 3 times. And when I say nighttime, I mean nighttime in the summer. So, nighttime in the summer. Like I said in that last clip, appropriate weight with a hook, with live bait. Okay? If the lake that you are fishing on has a bridge or multiple bridges, go to that bridge. Go to that bridge and some kind of bright light. If you have, if you're from the low country in South Carolina or Georgia or, Florida, North Carolina, anywhere, get you your flounder gigging light and just shine that on the water. Right, get under that bridge, tie up to a bridge column, and shine that light in the water. Or if you have an underwater light, that works too. That probably works better. But I'm not bougie like that, so I have to use my flounder gigging lights. And what that does is that attracts some bait fish up to that light. And when those crappie see those bait fish, it's on. And what it does is it makes those bait fish more visible, for one. And when they're all in the same place, it's kind of like an ambush. And so what you do is you just drop your hook in minnow, and when those crappie are attacking, your minnow is going to be one of them. And then what I'll do is I'll go from one bridge column, I'll go to the next one, and then I'll go to the other side, and then I'll go to another set, and then if there's another bridge, I'll go to that bridge, and it almost always works. And I'm talking always works. So I hope that these tips and tricks helped you out in your next crappie fishing trip. That's it.